future. My conclusion is that we have some distance yet to travel on this journey towards the good life, but that history can help to show us the way. Most agreeably of all, I feel that I've encountered some real people from the past, from all ranks in society, peasants to kings. If we reach out a hand across the centuries, we find that our ancestors are very much like us in the ways they lived, loved, and died. Of all histories, wrote John Beadle in 1656, the history of men's lives is the most pleasant. Such history can call back times and give life to those that are dead. In researching this book, I've had two sources of extra help from beyond the walls of the library. Firstly, working at historic royal palaces as I do, I am surrounded by people whose job it is to bring the past back to life for our visitors. We talk about the topics covered here every day. Secondly, I've had the privilege of presenting a British Broadcasting Corporation television series on the history of the home. For that project, I tried out for myself many of the processes and rituals described here. I blackened a Victorian kitchen range, lugged the hot water to fill an unplumbed bathtub, ignited a gas streetlight, waded through 19th century sewers, slept in a Tudor bed, drank a Georgian medicine made out of seawater, coaxed a dog into turning a roasting spit, and even used urine as a stain remover. Each time we recreated some lost part of domestic life, I learned something new about why and how houses developed. Many of these humdrum tasks were so familiar to people in the past that they were hardly worth thinking about. "I was talking about ideals, nobility, principles," cries one of the characters in Marilyn French's classic feminist novel, The Women's Room. "Why do you always have to bring us down to the level of the mundane, the ordinary, the stinking fucking refrigerator?" But I would argue that every single object in your home has its own important story to tell. Your relationship with your refrigerator reveals a great deal about who you really are. Is it full or empty? Do you share it? Clean it yourself? Have someone to clean it for you? The answers to these questions define your place in the world. As Dr. Johnson put it, "Sir, there is nothing too little for so little a creature as man. It is by studying little things that we attain the great knowledge of having as little misery and as much happiness as possible." Part 1. An Intimate History of the Bedroom. Nearly a third of history is missing. You rarely hear about the hours when people were asleep or on the borders of it, and it's worth trying to fill that gap. Today, your bedroom is the backstage area where you prepare for your performance in the theatre of the world. For us, it's a private place, and it's rude to barge into someone else's bedroom without knocking. But this is a relatively new phenomenon. Medieval people didn't have special rooms for sleeping. They simply had a living space in which they happened to rest, or eat, or read, or party, and they used the same room for everything. The idea that you might sleep by yourself, in your own bed, in your own separate room, is really rather modern. The functions of bedroom and living room eventually became separate, yet the bedroom remained a social space for a surprisingly long time. Guests were received in bedrooms as a mark of favour. Courtship and marriage were played out here, and even childbirth was for centuries a communal experience. Only in the 19th century did the bedroom become secluded, set aside for sleep, sex, birth, and death. In the 20th century, even the last two left the bedroom behind and went off to the hospital. Because the room in which you slept was so much more than just a place of rest, the history of the bedroom is a vital strand in the history of society itself. 1. A History of the Bed. There are few nicer things than sitting up in bed drinking strong tea and reading. Alan Clark, 27 January 1977. Once upon a time, life's great questions were, would you be warm tonight, and would you get something to eat? Under these circumstances, the central great hall of a medieval house was a wonderful place to be, safe, even if smoky, stinking, and crowded. Perhaps its floor was made only of earth, but no one cared if the hall was full of company, warmth, and food. Many people, then, were glad to doss down here. At night, the medieval great hall became a bedroom. A medieval great household was rather like a boarding school in which most of the pupils